Hello, this is Mayor Mike Inman from Macomb City Hall. It's Tuesday, May 12th, 2020, and this is our most recent update on the COVID-19 pandemic here in Macomb and the surrounding area. We'll start off with some information shared with us from the McDonough County Health Department. And just kind of a recap since we last brought you some information, there was one additional case reported on this past Saturday, no cases on Sunday, no cases yesterday, and 3 cases today. So a significant shift just in a matter of a week or so on the number of cases being reported. Confirmed cases. And again, this is at a time where we are getting more testing done. So I think that's it's a plus in that we're finding that there's only about a 7.5% positivity rate for our tests. That means total number of positives come back compared to total number of tests that have been run. So for example, as of this morning, there had been a total of 723 tests in McDonough County, and we currently have 52 positive cases, and 13 people are being reported as recovered. So again, as we've increased testing, we've been able to see that the positivity rate is staying about the same. So that's good news, relatively speaking. It's not good news for those folks that are fighting this disease. Please don't take that the wrong way, but it shows that a more accurate level of the amount of virus that is actually in our community. And it also is a predicate for us moving forward in opening up the economy a little more by many of the metrics that are being used to make those judgments. So the hospital is still continuing to test people. And again, that they would prefer that you make contact through their nurse hotline, and that number is on your screen now. With their hours of operation at the nurse hotline between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. and then the tent, the area where you'd be submitting to the testing, that information is also available on MDH's website. Kind of the important thing, and I think this is from the health department, I think it's a good takeaway from this. It says as we continue to see our local positive COVID-19 cases count rise, and that's to be expected, it is increasingly more important to take precautions to minimize the transmission of the illness. So a little bit of good news is here that as we continue to increase the number of testing, yes, there's more positive tests, but again, we would like to think, and I think this bears it out, our efforts at social distancing, hand washing, wearing face coverings are paying off. That's kind of the message I'm trying to convey here today. And that's what the health department is also conveying, that they strongly urge all residents to wear cloth face coverings and practice physical distancing when in public, and to continue to abide by the stay-at-home order issued by the governor for health and safety for the entire community. Because if you remember, cloth face masks or face coverings, when properly worn, are important sources to control and to keep asymptomatic folks that have the disease but aren't necessarily showing any symptoms, to keep them from inadvertently spreading the virus among the rest of the population. So again, the health department doubling down on that guidance about social physical distancing and wearing face coverings as well as washing your hands. And I think that is very important. Again, encouraging, I think, at the end of the day, in that we've done hard work, we continue to do hard work, and it seems to be paying off. And some information that was released just a little bit ago before we started this taping was that in a conference call with the governor's office today with the governor, he's indicating that he's seeing that the majority of the state is on track to meet those metrics that he and other health professionals have had input on in helping him guide his stay-at-home order, and that we are on track to advance to the next phase within the next couple of weeks. So I think that's encouraging. And I think that, again, should be assigned us to keep up the good work, improve where we can, so that if you've been reluctant to wear a face mask, this is another ask for you to comply with that and do the right thing to, again, prevent the inadvertent spread of this. We're making headway, and we would encourage folks to stay on track, because it would appear that we're set to move to that next phase of less restrictions in a couple of weeks or less. Some other things we'd like to share with you as well is that the City Council approved an additional 2 businesses for the Small Business Stabilization Funding Program. So the city is very happy to have been able to act as a conduit for 8 local small businesses to apply for funding. Now, we won't know here for a week or 2, maybe slightly longer, whether those businesses actually get those funds. But again, with the City Council's help, the administration here at City Hall has been very active and engaged in providing resources and guidance and the conduit, so to speak, for this funding to come to these businesses. So we're grateful for that opportunity. We're encouraged by that. And then, of course, plans are underway for some form of socially distanced graduation type ceremony at Macomb High School. It's going to be outdoors. We're waiting for some additional details from the school district on how that is likely to happen and be compliant with all the concerns, the safety concerns, public health concerns. Again, trying to make the best for those seniors that will be graduating from Macomb High School this weekend. Many of them would have been attending prom last weekend, but we know how that works. We did have some discussions about what that might look like later this summer, if that were a possibility. We had some discussions with school staff about that, and we're looking forward to hopefully being in a position to facilitate some of those desires that the school district has for prom in a couple of months. So again, some encouraging news today. Again, we still are thinking of those folks that are still dealing with this, both those folks that have active symptoms and in some cases may be in some critical health care situations. We're also still concerned and sending out our thoughts and best wishes and our prayers for folks who have suffered loss, physical loss of friends and family during this crisis. Doesn't mean we're out of the woods, that's not what I'm suggesting, but there is definitely some forward progress, and that's because we're all committed to trying to do this together. So thank you for taking the time to tune in today, and we'll be together with you and share information again soon.